Awesome. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. Sorry for the delay. Our friends in from LA, my girlfriend had like these people like the cheese board, all that shit. So.
Right.
Charcuterie.
Not bacon,
Relax
though.
with that.
Nothing like a charcuterie tray.
Also, you know what? So here's the. Can we start? Are we good?
Go for it.
Welcome to Bacon. This is my podcast.
Today we have our buddy Gunz. He uses the word ballin all the time in a way different way than we talk about ballin because we're sponsored by Manscaped.
That's right.
Big fan of Manscaped.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
Ballin! Today's Bacon is my podcast. There's stories. There's stories about ballin'. There's stories about being a hungry hippo of the
Media.
radio world.
The media world.
Yeah, there's stories about wrestling love. There is
Ballin'!
a lot of ballin', and there's even a wrestling Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I added that late in the game here on the notes.
Yeah,
but I knew I wanted to hit it. I did want to hit it.
Yeah, that was a good question to pop.
But welcome to Bacon is My Podcast.
Brought to you by
We've got
what?
Gunz.
Yeah,
Gunz from the Gun Show.
Gunz from the Gun Show.
He actually was on
Yeah.
a while ago on What's Your Bacon in 7 Questions. It was during So What, and we talk about how we met up and all that fun stuff. So
It's energetic. He's energetic.
he is.
It's a good time.
It's a good time. Indeed.
His balls are clean.
Are you sure?
Well, he said he loves Manscaped, who is one of our sponsors.
Indeed.
Use the promo code BACONPOD to get 20% off and free shipping of your order of the perfect package, or the lawnmower by itself, or anything. Crop mops, whatever you want to get. Shave your nuts. Shave your beans. Keep it clean.
Keep the balls clean.
If you don't
Super
shave
clean.
it, you can either shave or be shaved in this world.
Oh,
You
yeah.
want to be a shaver.
Yeah, you want to be a shaver.
Indeed.
Indeed. You can also go to drinkwildbills.com, poddex.com, and grillyourassoff.com. Use promo code BACON because why?
Everything's better with bacon.
Right, and you get 10% off your order at any of those awesome sites if you want to have some nice cold beverages here this autumn.
While asking random questions to your friends.
Yes.
And grilling something nice.
Yeah. It's always grilling season. So.
Yeah.
But
If
yeah,
you have heat.
we had an interesting day today.
Yeah.
So we
Absolutely.
were supposed to have 2 episodes. We ended up only having 1.
Right. So we ended up eating some horrible
hot stuff
hot
over on the
chocolate
Patreon.
bar for the Patreon over at Patreon.
Here we go.
This
is
patreon.com.
RHB.
/Bacon is my podcast.
RHB is the really hot bar, dark chocolate infused with Carolina Reaper.
Yep.
And that is from Willie Pete's Chocolates.
That sucked.
That was not awesome for Jim Z because he doesn't love that
You can
stuff.
watch me cough it up. We also had some of this Dragon Pop popcorn.
Oh yeah, it's strawberry popcorn.
Strawberry popcorn.
It's a lot like caramel corn, but
strawberry.
Strawberry-ish, and it also has these.
Don't eat that.
Oh no.
Yeah. Make sure you don't eat that.
Oh okay.
Yeah, that's
Here,
the
want it?
freshness packet.
Oh, that's the freshest packet.
The freshness packet.
Oh.
The
Okay.
fresh balls that you can get with the perfect package from Manscaped.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
But yeah, we hang out tonight with our buddy Gunz.
With a Z.
With a Z.
From the Gun Show.
From the Gun Show. And we met him over at So What Fest.
Did you see the 7 questions with him? Because it's funny.
It is probably just as long as this episode.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
He is a fellow podcaster, a fellow broadcaster, if you will. You can catch him on Fox News every once in a while, they'll like call him up last minute and go, "Yo, Gunz, you want to do something like with a modern fucking view on it?" Yeah, sure.
He's their token millennial.
Yeah. Good dude. Lots of fun. We talk about, how he got into the game.
Yeah.
Which
We
is
talk about a
what
lot
we
of
do.
stuff. He asked us a bunch of questions too. We just have a conversation.
Yeah, we started this out like
This is one of those episodes where literally it's just
he
we're just
started
hanging
out. He started out asking us questions. I was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, dude, we're the fucking interviewers here."
Yeah, why don't you bring us on your show and ask us questions?
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
Why Gunz?
Why?
Yeah, we'll come to the fucking. We didn't even get to it. Madison Square Garden
Yeah,
to come to record your fucking show.
that would be my bacon.
That would be my bacon too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's
Let's shut up. You guys should listen to it.
do it now.
Go.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, the let's go. Yes, Ballin. What's up, everybody? Gunzer from the Gun Show. So we were just talking before, though. So I had this thing. So even though, like, I talk for a living, obviously, like, the radio, TV, all that stuff, I'm very bad still at, like, words. So charcuterie is how I would do, like, charcuterie. So the board, charcuterie, like, I have no idea how to. What word?
Charcuterie.
It's like charcuterie. Charcuterie.
I talk for a living. I don't know what that word is whatsoever. So I say chowdery.
Right.
Like where's
Sometimes it can be.
pronunciation?
Sometimes it can be chowdery. If you leave it out
Chowdery.
too long, it can get
Charcuterie,
chowdery.
like,
If you leave it out in the heat,
If you leave it out in the heat, it gets a little chowdery.
yeah.
The other
Was there-
thing is,
Was there any prosciutto on that?
I like my prosciutto. Let's go, Bally. Let's go. Because why? Because that's a good segue to this. I don't eat vegetables. I don't know. So we hung out at So What Music Fest. Was on the pod. Love you guys. Big fans. But I don't even remember this. But I don't eat vegetables like at all.
Yeah,
So
I
like
remember
I'll get like
talking
the
about
bacon
that.
cheeseburger and I'll take off the lettuce and tomatoes. I eat just straight up meat. Let's go. And chicken parm. Big chicken parm guy. But I was at a salad place, like Chopped or some shit, and they had this thing with the Q, quinoa.
Quinoa.
Yeah,
Quinoa.
that's another word. I was with this girl and she goes, "What the fuck did you just say?" I was like, "I don't know quinoa. How would I know it's quinoa? Look at the quinoa.
Right.
Quinoa.
Yo.
Right.
Quinoa. I only had that for the first time a few years back when so my son was born and he was like 2, right? And we were like, "Oh, quinoa, whatever." We've had couscous, which was like another like
That's
big
another
thing
one I
at
screw
the
up.
little
The
couscous. Quinoa, don't feed that to a kid. You know why? Once it gets on the floor, that's it. It's stuck.
It
It's
lives
done.
there. Yeah, it lives there.
It's done. You got to like let it sit for like 48 hours and then you can sweep it up.
I have no idea what this thing is. It's quinoa, as far as I'm concerned. I have no idea what this thing is. But I just saw
When
it
you-
up there, and the girl next to me, she was like, "What the fuck did you just say?" It's like quinoa. Because I'm thinking like QU. I'm thinking like question. Yeah, like
Right,
how would I know it's QU? Like quinoa. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
So
That's-
anyway,
that's
it's just
very
funny that,
much-
like quinoa.
like-
the
and
only reason I
charcuterie.
know.
Yeah.
The only reason I know how to say quinoa is because the very first time I ever saw it, it was on a menu, and next to it in parentheses was KEEN-WAH.
Oh,
And it was like, so it was like, this
That's
is how you
helpful.
say it. So
That's
I looked at it
helpful.
and I go, oh, all right. There you go.
Yeah.
super
Love
helpful.
that.
Why didn't you just spell it correctly the first time?
I used to mess with my friends, or I used to mess with people at Taco Bell, and I'd say I'll have a case quesadilla
Quesadilla?
or tortilla.
That's fighting words right there, though. You screw up Taco Bell. I found out during the pandemic that Taco Bell delivers. I order Taco Bell all the time, and then I get mad at them because I tweeted out the other day, I'm a big fan of the nacho fries, but they come in cycles. So
Yeah.
I was very
Yeah.
excited when they had it, and then I was pissed off the other day when I ordered it because they didn't have it again. So I tweeted out, I was like, "Where the hell did the nacho fries go?" Like,
Right.
what the fuck?
What other restaurant are French fries seasonal?
I am
That's bullshit.
upset. I'm upset
Good
that they
call
were
right
like
there.
they were
bullshit.
like, "Oh, we brought back the Mexican pizza," and then all of a sudden they're like, "By the way, you loved it so much, we don't have any." It's like, what do you? Then you didn't fucking bring it back.
Right.
You're just a cock tease.
But it's like everything at Taco Bell. What do you not have to make the Mexican pizza. I understand the fries because you have to actually order fries.
That's
Every
right, yeah.
ingredient of the Mexican pizza is at Taco Bell currently.
Right.
Every
Right.
single thing they use for it is in
You
house.
can figure this out.
Yeah.
It's like, are they just put it all together? Yeah.
Right.
How about
It's
this
like-
though? You mentioned fries before. I always say that fries can literally be a make or break. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
100%.
if you have good fries, like nobody
Yep.
ever really talks about fries, but you have good fries, people will be like, oh yeah, check it. Like, oh, if everyone's like, oh, where should I go for dinner? Or whatnot, you have people in town. It's like, oh, go there. Like, yo, fries are awesome. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, if you have good fries, it's bragging rights right there.
Dude, fries are
important.
surprisingly
They're
they're
very
super important and surprisingly hard to get good ones.
Yeah. So
What's our fry ranking? What do you guys go with?
So our buddy Fleur
Mhm.
Shomo.
Oh, we had an
she-
argument with her. Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't like curly fries.
That's number one for me. I would go curly into waffle.
She's like
Waffle's
fuck
excellent.
curly fries. I'm like,
I like
dude,
waffle if I'm
I'll-
dipping
I'll
because of
fucking
surface area.
get you some curly fries. Like we can get some. Come
Curly
to New
fries
York,
are-
we can get you some fucking curly fries.
Yeah.
Waffle fries. Yeah.
Waffle
Seasoned-
fries, though, to me,
I like
waffle
the
fries not
seasoned
by
fries.
themselves. I like waffle fries if I'm gonna like dip them in like a cheese
Okay.
or something like that. 'Cause
Gravy?
They're gravy.
Mhm.
They got a lot of surface area, so they can get a good. They're like a spoon, right?
Cajun
It's like
fries are pretty good. Five Guys has Cajun fries.
Cajun
I was-
fries.
I was just
Cajun
gonna
fries are
say-
pretty excellent.
Checkers fries.
Checkers fries are the shit.
That's up there.
or rallies for you Midwesterners.
Yes. Yeah.
Same thing.
Midwesterners. Yeah.
Same thing.
Well,
Because
he's from Indiana.
I grew up in Indiana, so I knew
Let's go
rallies.
Irish.
I
Unless you
did
don't
not
like Notre
know.
Dame.
Right.
Go Irish unless you don't like Notre Dame.
I lived closer to Purdue, so
Gotcha.
if I said anything about Notre Dame, they'd be happy about it, but not crazy about it because they'd be like, "Fucking Purdue, man!" And I'm like, "Yo, there's like 4 Big Ten schools in one state. You guys can fuck off."
That's why he's like,
There's so many.
yay, sports.
Am I the asshole for
Yes.
so
Maybe.
yesterday Notre Dame played. I'm a huge Notre Dame fan, so I bet them first half because I was like, if they're gonna win, like they were getting 17 points against Ohio State, and I was like, they're like obviously they're supposed to lose, but I was like, but maybe they'll come out swinging like first half. So I bet them first half and first quarter, by the way. Totally degenerate move,
Right.
but I hit both of those. But then the halftime came, and then I bet against them. Am I like I love Notre Dame? Am I wrong for betting against my own team? But I wanted the money. Is that wrong?
See,
What's your opinion?
You're asking the wrong guy because I hold loyalty to nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm in
I
the
got-
right spot then.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely nothing. I will sell you out immediately.
Everybody asked me who's going for who you going for the Super Bowl this year. I was like, I don't know. I just want to hit my boxes.
Right.
Boom.
That's
Yeah.
all that matters.
I don't care.
I don't
care.
all it fucking.
I have allegiance to no team.
Yeah.
Love that. What's up,
I-
fellas? How are we?
I gotta tell you, man.
Doing
Like,
great, man.
I have NASCAR on in the background. Why?
I was-
Because I bet on NASCAR. So
Nice.
I
You
apologize
bet on
if you
NASCAR?
hear it in the background. So.
that's all good. Are you betting on All Out tonight?
You know,
I hear DraftKings will let you bet.
I think
Yeah.
MJ.
Not a
I
sponsor.
think I'm kind of mad at AEW right now with the whole CM Punk situation, but I think MJ
Right?
has to come out.
We were
like,
just
We were
talking
literally
about
just
that.
talking about that.
I'm
Yeah.
so
we were
mad at
just-
AEW because of that. Like, why would
It's
you
like,
have
what
Moxley
a weird
destroy Punk, pretend it's an injury just for him to come back and I guess be
The
a
next
heel
week.
now? But like, you just don't fuck with Punk out of everybody.
But he's
You know
not
what
a
I mean?
heel. That's the problem. He's
you
not
know
a
what?
heel. He's in Chicago, so like he's already
They
portrayed
did it
as
to
a
pop
face.
a rating, is what they did.
I honestly thought that at first. I mean, it was a squash, obviously. Well, we know now it's squash, but I thought maybe he did really like twist his leg a little bit, like so, like
yeah.
which is fine.
It
Like
popped
you
a
know,
rating, and it got everybody talking, and it got everybody interested, and everybody had to tune in next week to see what the fuck happened. It's episodic TV.
people
writing.
drove. I went through like the hashtags of the AEW and Dynamite and all that.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
And people drove hours for that because once they announced it, they were like, "Oh, this is gonna be like an hour-long
yeah.
match." Imagine
Yeah.
paying a ton of money and driving and stuff just to see a 3-minute thing. I would be furious.
right.
But
I,
anyway, I think MJF.
I will say,
MJF.
yeah.
I think so too. I think that's what's happening.
I hope so. I really do. And it's funny because I listened to Jim Ross's podcast.
Love
and
JR.
Totally,
Big fan of JR.
totally let the cat out of the bag, and he's just like, oh yeah, I can't wait for them to just do something with MJF. And he's like, oh, okay, so they're like all this backstage drama and shit isn't real. Okay.
Oh, you knew
Cool.
that to begin with.
Yeah, but you know what? Like now, right now,
I
the way
think they
that
do
things
hate
have been
Punk
in the
backstage.
dirt,
I think they do hate Punk a little bit backstage.
There's been a couple of guys that come out and say no, like they really like having him out, having him there. They love being able to have an open door policy with him. And I'm hey, listen, man, look,
right.
I'm an old school
you
Punk
have the
fan.
Punks, yeah.
So everybody, I mean, by all.
The fact that you're buying that tee
All
right now is
accounts.
crazy.
Oh, I didn't buy this now.
No.
this is-
You're buying the tee, the quote unquote
right.
tee.
Right.
You're like,
right,
well,
right,
they
right.
don't say anything publicly. Like, yeah, because they don't want to deal with the bullshit in the internet, dude. I think honestly, they don't. Some of them don't like Punk. You're like, well, nobody said anything out loud. But then you're wearing the CM Punk shirt.
There
Of
are
course,
people-
you're gonna be like, he's the best guy ever.
No, there's some
He came
people
out
that legit.
his wedding. He came out
You're
of
like,
his
you're like,
wedding.
they're
Oh,
very
yeah.
nice.
Burns,
They're
man.
very nice in interviews about him. Like, yeah, they don't want to deal with the bullshit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I did, as he said, for my wedding. It was the summer of Punk,
Yeah.
and
Him and
the
his wife
original
were
summer of Punk.
introduced to This Fire Burns.
Yeah,
Like came out to his original theme song.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
ballin'.
Did you do the whole like touch the ground like when you're walking into the
Yeah,
I
she
did. It's clobbering time,
and best in
and
the world.
then so what was really cool about this venue is it had those like guardrails that you'd see at fucking like oh man, what is it like an amusement park. So there's like two bars
Right.
around
Yeah.
the whole thing,
Okay.
and they had corners. So I went onto one of the corners, and although it was very rickety, I did do the what time? Who am I? Yeah, that. So
love that.
in
I
in
took,
tux shoes.
in tuck shoes.
Yeah.
No. It wasn't. No, I didn't have tuck shoes. I had Adidas.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You popped on.
I bought some special Adidas.
I took I ended up dating her for a little bit, but the third hangout. It's not really like like dating is like quote unquote dating, but like like
Right.
I don't think grabbing drinks with somebody's we're dating. You know what I mean? Like it's
No,
a
that's-
process
yeah,
before like
yeah.
you're dating.
Right.
But the third time I met up with this person, she met me after work or whatnot, and like we're like, oh, drinks. I was like, what do you do? So I'm next to her. We're at the bar or whatnot. I was like, what are you doing tonight? She's like, oh, it's like we're just chilling. I go, great. I have box seats for I think it was a SmackDown at Barclays. I was like, what do you know about wrestling? She goes, what? I was like, well, you're coming. I was like, we got to leave now. We got to get the subway. I was like, it's live in 40 minutes. Box seat with like my buddy, like. We all know like the stereotypical wrestling fans, and that's
Yeah.
what this box seat for a Monday, like for a SmackDown was.
Right, right.
Or it might have been Monday Night Raw, whatever. Like
That's
who's
fantastic.
buying box seats? Who's buying box seats for just a regular Raw?
Right.
Like
right.
not pay per view. So I was like, "You're in," and she bought like the Bailey stuff and all that stuff. But like, I remember going on air the next morning. I was on with Imus actually, and he's talking and stuff. I cut him off, and normally I would never do that, but I was like, he's gonna love the story. I was like, Imus. I was like, had a date last night. He's like, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, I took her to wrestling. He goes, you did what? I was like, yeah, I took her to wrestling at Barclays Center. He's like, it's like she had a blast. Like, what the fuck? But you know
I was
what?
gonna say she had a great time, right?
She had a blast. We were rooting for
course.
Bailey. Like,
Absolutely.
but like that could go. That's hit or miss right there. It's like,
Oh, it's
It could've been,
totally
like-
hit or miss.
yeah.
Like my wife tolerates me.
The
When I'm
smell,
in wrestling
the
mode.
smell inside the arena. Like, I love wrestling fans. I'm a huge wrestling fan myself, but we all know it's almost like a Comic Con.
Oh, it's awful.
Each
Yeah,
their own.
yeah.
Like, people come out for the first time every couple months when there's an event, and
Right.
it's like they haven't seen. The hygiene's not always the greatest for some
Right.
people.
No.
First time
It was
in
funny,
daylight. It's the mole
like-
people.
When Jen and I were dating, or no, when we were finally living together, and so like Papa Roach for a long time was the Raw theme.
Right.
But the second she started hearing Nickelback, she was like, I'm out. See you later. I'm not.
Gotta do
I'm gone. I'll be in the other room. Enjoy the couch for the
It's
next
just the
fucking
intro.
2 hours.
It's just the intro.
Back
Would
when it was
you-
2 hours.
Obviously, you guys are huge music fans. We had a blast at So What and stuff, and we love music. Obviously, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Would you rather be? I mean, Nickelback's huge, but like obviously they're the butt of all jokes, as we just
Right.
experienced right there.
Sure.
Would you rather have that, even like when no one's going to take your band quote unquote seriously, or would you never want that? I mean, I would probably, right?
See, here's the thing: is that we can say that no one takes Nickelback seriously, but Nickelback sells out shows.
Boom, they're making money. They're going all the way
Exactly.
back to it.
So all the people that don't take them seriously, cool, whatever.
That's fine, but they're
I
still
would-
selling lots of tickets.
And you know what? In the current world we live in, I think hate makes just as much money as love. So yeah, hate me
Put it-
all day.
put it
Spell it
on a
right.
shirt.
Spell my band right.
exactly. Exactly.
Let's go.
Tell everybody you hate me. Tell
You brought
everyone
up-
you know. Tell everyone you know.
So
Yeah,
you
no,
brought
you're
up
right,
you brought up fucking radio pioneer, fucking Imus.
Right.
Imus in the morning.
But
You work with Fox
do a lot.
News.
Yeah. You do
I
a lot
listen
of
to a
stuff.
podcast,
You do a lot of
Fox
stuff.
News, by the way.
but
Really loving your Lion King #3 best soundtracks.
word, yeah. I
yeah.
was like, wait, where's it go? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't work for Fox, but like I am on Fox brings me
You're-
on a lot as like
you're-
a millennial
you're-
type person. Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome, like every once in a while to see your tweets where you're just like, "Hey, going to Fox in 2 hours. See you later." Like that's always super
Yeah.
cool. I mean, we set this up, and then like last minute, you're like, "Hey, dude, like, I got a chance to do this show with it was Grayscale, right?"
Yeah. So
Yeah. But
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're like going hard in media, and you're always fucking going, and you got your emo night thing going, which is really fucking cool. Which we got a lot of questions about, because I think we should probably start doing that, because it seems like it's a thing.
Yeah.
Like it's a thing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like what got you into all this stuff, considering like you were always like on tour with bands and stuff like that. So like what kind of capacity were you on, like on the road with bands and stuff?
So I was always that person, like, who was opinionated, like throughout school, like middle school, like all that stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like I was always like, I would challenge like the teacher, but like, oh, really? You know what I mean? Like I was that kind of person, not like an asshole, not being like a snob or anything like that, but like kind of just like, I knew
prove
like,
yourself. If you're gonna tell me something, prove yourself.
I was an outspoken person, but I wasn't like the drama rumor type person. It was just somebody like I was just kind of confident, like was good with like speaking. You know what I mean? And like kind of it's like, oh, well, what about this? And like, of course, like the teacher would be like, fuck, I think he's actually right on that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So, it's like shit, like fuck God, this.
I was like that in Sunday school.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So so I knew I always wanted to do like broadcasting and stuff, and then I started doing the band stuff like sixth, seventh, eighth grade, and at that time, my dad was a high school teacher, so my next door neighbor was a couple years older than me. Started going to shows, and New Jersey had an amazing scene. Now at this time, I love Green Day. Like I love, obviously, like Cobain had already died, but like I was a big Nirvana fan. Like, like I Soulless, like Souls, like not really Soul Asylum, but like, I just loved music, like early Matchbox 20, like that kind of stuff. Green Day into like the No Effects, the Punk-O-Rama comps. Like I knew that I
NSYNC and Pink.
Yes, big fan of NSYNC and Pink. That was actually my second ever concert.
We know.
We'll talk about that.
It's
Oh, did we say that? Oh, did I say fuck? Oh, that was my first. Fuck.
Yeah, no, that's in an interview here.
Yeah, we did say, yeah, fuck, yeah. Oh, God. Anyway, my next door is a couple years older. He was like, hey, he's like, this person I go to high school with is playing a show at like this local whatever. It's like, do you want to come with? Because, we always like would just jam and stuff. Like, couldn't even do power chords. It was like, sixth, seventh, eighth grade. He was a couple years older, so he's in high school and stuff. We go there. It was a band called Nowhere Fast. Nowhere Fast was Tyler and Heath. Now, Heath was one of my dad's students a year later in high school. Well, my dad was like, oh, my son's starting to take guitar lessons. I had a guitar, but I was like, oh, my son was like, oh, yeah. My dad was like, oh, my son's taking guitar lessons. Heath went up to my dad afterwards and was like, I actually play guitar. It's like, would he want, like, I can, if he wants, whatever. Well, Tyler and Heath started Midtown about 3 months after that. So that's how it kind of all started. I was like, oh my God, like, Midtown's fucking Midtown. Let's go,
Yeah.
So I really like started, like, I was a huge fan of music, obviously, from that. And I was like, oh my God. And then like the Drive Thru Records and like, just kind of like helping out, street teaming, going to the mall, handing out stuff. Like, I purposely like worked at Sam Goody's when I was in high school, and then worked at the Wall, then worked at FYE. You know what I mean? Like, I knew I wanted to do that. I made friends with the bookers and the promoters, the local shows, and like flyered all around high school. Like, would go up to people at the mall on weekends and be like, oh, you have like, Dickies long shorts. You're probably a skater. Hey, check out Millencolin or some shit.
You're in all black.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, you could just tell. You could gravitate.
Right.
Be like, oh, do you like Newfound Glory? Like, here you go, But then I kind of like, just from like working like and just knowing stuff, I was like, I was in bands, but I was like, the odds of making it a band they're still difficult. But like back then, without social media and internet, like,
We know we're both in bands.
Yeah,
There
we
you go.
get it.
yeah,
For 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So we
Yeah,
get it.
yeah.
We get it.
yeah. And I was
That's
like,
why we're doing this.
Right.
congratulate, yeah, exactly. And that's why, that's
We
why I
get it.
started my show too, as well, because I was like, like how many members did we go through where it's like, oh, you're not taking it seriously, or like, are we that good? All this
Yeah.
stuff. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I was like, I'm going to go into broadcasting, because I was always big into like news and like me, like just like, I always wanted to be on TV no matter what, the TRL,
Right.
Carson Daly, all that shit. And I was like, let me go in music broadcasting and help all the bands that inspired me. Starting line, just to make them massive, as if I was flyering outside around the mall or whatnot, or throughout high school. Let me get on a platform so I can do that, but to a larger audience. And that's kind of how the Gun Show started. And then I just started, interviewing a ton of bands, befriending bands and all of that. And like, calling in those early favors would be about like, I was, seeing you when you had 30 people at like a fire hall show. And now like, you're touring with like a Sum 41 or something. It's like, come on my show, and like, I started before podcasts were really a podcast. And then that led to doing like tours with them, or East Coast runs, and then Warped Tour for a bunch of summers, and then like Warped Tour radio and all that stuff. So it really kind of was just I love what I'm doing anyway, but also I'm doing everything that I love. I love music. I love broadcasting. I love being on air, and it was wild. Yeah. So that's how, long story short, but yeah.
Now, what were you doing when you were on, like, say you're doing an East Coast run with a band?
Oh,
You're
I was
going on
definitely,
tour
yeah.
with them.
I would help.
What's
Yeah.
your role while you're doing that? That's doing both in the broadcasting world, and that, like, how are you putting that together?
I mean, each tour was kind of different. Sometimes it was just like, they're in town. Like, oh, I'm going on 6 dates with you now. Boston, Pittsburgh, whatever. And like, if you need help, I'm there anyway. It's like, oh, Gunz is going to just be on the front couch, But other times, like the Warped Tour stuff, it's like, press, like, tons of press, or like, interviews, hyping up, like introducing the band, stuff like that, content. But it was also, those early days were also kind of like, there really wasn't like, there was no Twitter really, there was no TikTok, like it was pure volume and mp3.com and maybe some MySpace.
Pure volume. Oh my god. Yeah.
So,
Reverb Nation.
yeah, Reverb.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So like, yeah, it started just like hanging out and stuff. It's like, oh, let's do interviews. Then it eventually went to like, hey, we're live broadcasting from the tour bus or whatnot on the road, into eventually like more video content, because at the time it's still it's just straight up audio.
Yeah.
And then from then it went like into like Warped Tour, like Adobe Radio was the official Warped Tour station for like 3 years in a row. Adobe was, and that's what the Gun Show's on. So it's like, okay, boom, let's go. And then we had the tent and all that kind of stuff. So it went from just hanging out into let me help out into, all right, at least Gunz is here. Like, if like the lead singer has to do like a meet and greet or like a acoustic performance, like Gunz just like walk with them to make sure like they're not going to get like, into broadcasting, into content, into interviews, into everything, DJing, opening up, all that shit.
So just making sure that you were kind of you made sure that you were there, and you had such a wide array of things that you could do, that you were like de facto interviewer, de facto introduce. Today you're going to be
hyping up the crowd for like random. Yeah.
Tomorrow you're going to tour manage. You're going to do this for this person's. He's going to go do this event. So now you're a runner and you're a manager for that.
Playing guitar sometimes, like
right. Just right place, right time. Just kind of being available
to an extent. But I mean, it collectively went over years. But I always say one of the like pieces of advice or whatnot is I would say two things. One is always say yes to opportunities and then figure it out later how it's going to work out. And then two, just being around really helps. Yeah, say yes. And then like, oh yeah, you're good for this? Yeah, sure. And then be like, what the fuck am I going to do now? Yeah.
I'm a yes guy.
He's always said to me, he's just like, say yes now.
Right.
Figure it out
We'll
later.
figure it out.
Because I've had more good times saying yes than saying no.
I've rarely regretted saying yes. I've often regretted saying no.
Yeah. I mean, especially like, you know, broadcasting media, like there's so many people. I mean, I guess it's any line of work, but especially like the really competitive ones, like you never want to look back and regret or anything. So, you know, when you were saying that stuff before about like me, like sometimes I work 18-hour days and like, I'm not saying like, well, it was me, but like I'm doing 3 or 4 different jobs within 18 hours. Like that's fucking insane. Like, what is that?
Well,
but I just want to keep building the brand. Yeah.
Yeah. That's and that's why, like, you know what, we've said there have been people who have like bailed on us that we were just like, okay, cool, fuck you then.
right.
But like, I that's why I was like with you. I was like, dude, we get it. Like, I get it. I see the shit that you do. So like, yeah, don't even worry about that.
Well, you don't count as like you don't count as bailing.
Yeah,
you didn't bail.
You guys rock. You guys have a great social media presence. We had so much fun in Dallas for the festival. But I love Grayscale. They're one of my favorite effing bands, and I did not know that. Like we were you guys were texting back and forth. It was like, oh, and then I was like, oh shit, and then I was like, oh shit, I gotta do press. I was like, it's not gonna happen because it's in Brooklyn, all this stuff. I fucking love Grayscale. Grayscale needs to be absolutely massive. For the listeners out there, you need to learn Grayscale. I'm telling you, this band needs to be fucking huge already. Okay. Just so you know, there's another Grayscale. There's another band called Grayscale. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah. Nobody does.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
I mean,
you're ruining my life right now.
Yeah, there's another band called Grayscale, and a lot of people came to see one of my shows thinking they were going to see that Grayscale. And it was a band that I grew up with here. Like we're in Long Island, so like
Long Island, let's go.
Yeah, bowling. Not so much. Not ballin'.
Not so much. It doesn't sound as cool when you say it.
No, it doesn't. No. I could do a ballin', but it's like fucking Wanta. No, not ballin'.
Yeah.
Not ballin'. But not like
the Grayscale ballin'.
Barely dribbling.
But I didn't realize there was that Grayscale, and I grew up like high school, like this Grayscale from around here who moved to Hawaii to do stuff and then like came back and was like, we're doing a reunion show. I was like, fuck yeah. And then we played the show and everybody was like, that's not Grayscale. And I was like, what?
Yeah. I was one of those people that had no idea about the Grayscale that you grew up with because I'm not from here, but I do know Grayscale.
Yeah.
So I was also like, you're playing with Grayscale? That's fucking badass. And then why
is our friend playing bass for them?
Right. How is our buddy Joey playing bass for Grayscale?
Well, because he used to
wait a minute.
He used to be
this doesn't feel right.
The bass, like he was a bass student of the bass player of Grayscale.
Not that he couldn't play bass. He could play bass for anybody. Joey's amazing.
Joey's amazing. But yeah, no, I completely, I unknowingly misled a lot of people the last time I opened up for Grayscale, and that sucked.
Commercial break.
What's up, guys? Going to talk to you a little bit about our sponsors real quick. Just want to start off with grillyourassoff.com. If you are going into grilling season like we are, then you know that you always need a little rub. You always need a little sauce. You need something that's going to help your grilling get better. Help those chicken breasts, right? They get a little dry sometimes. You want to make sure you're saucing them up. You want to make sure those ribs have got a nice dry rub and a saucy rub. Go to grillyourassoff.com. Check it out. I've used their stuff. It's delicious. 10% off with the promo code BACON.
Another place you can go to get 10% off with that promo code, drinkwildbills.com. They've got delicious sodas. They've got all sorts of different flavors, from sarsaparilla to birch beer to you name it. You got your root beers, you got your cream sodas, you got your creamsicles.
Yeah. Sugar-free for you guys. Watching the
Sugar-free.
waistline.
Indeed. And also, they've got some great jerky stuff. They've got the brisket bites are A+.
Indeed.
A+. And if you go there, go to drinkwildbills.com, use the promo code BACON, get 10% off.
One more place you can use that same promo code BACON is our oldest sponsor, Poddex. If you're a podcaster, if you are a budding interviewer, if you are just somebody that has a hard time talking to people every now and then, or want to do something fun with your friends, check out poddex.com. They have these decks of cards, 50 cards per deck, 50 questions. Check it out. Learn things about your friends, learn things about people, learn how to talk a little bit more, and be a little bit more comfortable. Always use the promo code BACON. Again, to get 10% off your order. They got cool swag too.
Indeed. And last but not least, of course, always frame the balls.
Yes.
Is that what you do? Frame the balls.
Frame the balls?
Well,
You could frame the balls.
You could. You could. But if you got a bush, it's just not. It's the summer.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Use the Lawnmower 4.0. Use the perfect package. And go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD. You get 20% off your order. And they've got all sorts of great stuff if you're a guy who's looking to feel so fresh and so clean.
Indeed. And not only do you get 20% off, but you also get free shipping.
Free shipping?
Shine up those balls. Get rid of that bush. Clean yourself up. And if you don't
Indeed.
clean yourself up, start.
Yeah.
Bacon Pod, 20% off, free shipping. Check it out. Thank you to our sponsors. Thanks for hanging out. What's your bacon?
Okay. So yeah. So I'll be like, I'm Mike and I'm Damien. Well, I like the consuming though. That's a good line. And we are Felicity, and you are consuming. Bacon is my podcast. And you are consuming. That's a good adjective. That's a good verb. Verb.
All right, you got it? Do you want to practice again, or you got it?
Let's try it. I'm Mike.
And I'm Damien.
And we are Felicity. And you are consuming. Bacon is my podcast.
But no, we totally get it. But like, super cool, like meeting you at So What, especially like you were dying.
Yeah, that was
Did you have like the
so
the barbecue truck or something? Or
wish.
was it the 90s
Here's the thing.
degree weather in fucking Texas?
Right.
Every
was so-
fucking day.
It was so weird because like here's the thing, like sure, like it's like I'm one to I've been in this this game in this industry long enough. It's like, all right, like, oh shit, dude, I'm like extremely hungry. Like, okay, like I'll admit it. Like, what the fuck do I have to lose? Like, yo, I had a fucking night last night. Like, dude, I'm like, I would just text me like, yo, I'm super hungover. Like, can we move it?
Right.
I could not even justify. I wish I was fucking hungover. I wish I had an excuse, because then you're just like, that means I had a great night. I didn't.
Right, yeah.
It was.
You earned it.
It was wild. It was so like, and normally I don't really. I mean, I'm extremely out of shape, obviously. Like I don't do shit, but like it was so hot in Dallas. I was drinking like Gator and water and just throwing it up. When you're doing that, like you're done.
That's bad. Yeah.
Like, I think it was like some sort of like stroke or some sort of bug or something going around, because I couldn't do anything. I wish I had my buddy Fish, who's also on IW Radio. He does Gone Fishkin, the show. He was like we went to like, we never went to any. I didn't go out all 3 nights. I didn't go to an after party, and we were so exhausted. Like we went to grab food, and then like I was in bed by like before midnight every night. But that time,
where did you find any food? We tried finding food every night. Everything was fucking closed. It was awful.
We went to the same spot the first 2 nights in a row because I couldn't find anything else. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so I was supposed to do that thing, but I also had press with like Simple Plan. I had a bunch of press. And
right.
Like,
you had like legit.
But like they, I got text messages from them like, oh, like, they're like, oh, you're too hungover. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking dead. I was like, I'm dying. And like, that sucked. But like, it would have been funnier if it was like, yeah, Gunz was he was running around last night, fucking running the streets of Dallas. Let's go. It's like I didn't even do that. So it's like that sucks when like you don't even have that story to be like, yeah, let's fucking go. It's like, yo, fuck that. Yeah, that's yeah. It was between like I don't know if it was like heat or like whatnot, but like
It had to have been heat, dude, because like we
It is a way
we
less
showed
cool
up.
story.
so hot
It's way
there.
cooler to be like, I was
No, it's
all
way
over the
cooler to be
streets.
like, oh,
I,
yeah.
you know, like I don't know where I woke up. I was drinking. I was crazy, but instead, it's like it was hot and I ate some bad chicken, maybe.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I
It's
mean,
not
like
nearly
even
as good of a
even
story.
when,
yeah.
so we got there early, and press was a little bit.
You guys dominated press, by the way. That's why your pod and everything is so damn good because you were like one of the hardest working people down there. Like you guys interviewed
Thank you.
non-stop in that press room, non-stop.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, there's two ways you can do it. You can either like sit at a table and just mope about it, or
Dude,
you
gobble
can
it up.
fucking
Gobble it up.
go out there and just be like, cool, you're a band.
Better
You're
busy
playing?
than bored.
All right, are you fun? If you're not fun, all right, well then
You guys
we don't
were-
watch it.
Hustling, like straight up, you guys were hustling. Like that was awesome. Like not only like hustling, like flying and stuff like that. Like you interviewed, I mean, a ton of bands. Anytime I went out there, it's like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Like, and that's awesome. I got to give you guys props for that. Like that's
Thank
that's
you.
fucking rad. You know what I mean?
Thank
And that's
you.
all about networking. That's all about being like, cool dudes, fun show, all that stuff. The question games, all that stuff. Like, so that way, like when that band or whoever is back in town or the manager is the promoter or whatnot, it's like, yo, yeah, they're fucking rad. Like, yeah, let's guest list them or like, yeah, let's do something with them again. That's how you build it up. Like,
Yeah.
I think the game has changed so much since when I first started that I feel like I don't want to be like, oh, Gen Zers need to be entitled. Feel like they're entitled. I don't want to be like that fucking like person, but like I feel like people expect too much now or don't want to put in the work. Case in point, pandemic happens. All right. Do you remember in the beginning of the pandemic, like couple months in, everybody was doing like the Insta stories of like acoustic performances. Everybody was doing. And you know what? To each their own. That's fine. I remember specifically, I think I even tweeted, I was like, we'll see who's really made for this. Less than 2 weeks later, they all stopped except for a couple handful.
Right.
Because like, it's especially bands that have been like kind of established. They're like, I'm not fucking doing this. But you did really see the bands that were able to adapt, whether it was starting to do live streams, Twitch streams, video game streams, live perform to those that like really wanted to compare to those that like, teams are on, like maybe they had, some of them might have had kids and stuff and they're home. So like, I'm not shit talking,
Right.
but it was interesting to be able to see who was able to adapt rather than be like the label handing them stuff. And you know what I mean? Like, it was very interesting to see that because
that's
a big thing I did on the gun show. I was like, yo, come on, like let's promote. Not even not promote, like just get your name out there. And like, it was interesting to see who said yes and who didn't, who said no. And I was like, why would you not come on just to shoot the shit?
I mean that's
Show
I mean
up.
I want
How hard is
to
it to
see
show up?
like, so I want to ask you like what kind of things that you never like, a couple years down the like back when you first started doing like broadcasting and stuff that you were like, no way that I would land this kind of fucking interview. But like for us, we started this literally out of necessity. We're songwriters, we write songs and shit like that, and we decided to start writing again. And when we hang out, we talk shit for an hour and drink some whiskey,
Right.
and then people were like, oh well, we'd love to be a fly on the wall, and we were like, okay, we'll put a camera on. And we did that. I started asking people and shit like that. So I do feel like for us, like the pandemic was a really nice jumping off point for us to ask these people, like, hey, like,
Dude, we
would
tried.
you mind doing it and
We
stuff
tried
like that? You get like,
everything. We're like, my band's had this YouTube channel forever, and it was like lyric videos, music videos, and we were like, we'll figure it out. But we were, let's try and get on the road, let's try and tour, let's try and our social medias for promoting shows and stuff. And pandemic happened, and it was like, oh shit, okay, so now we need to make this something. We need to do something here. And man, we tried everything. You and I were both doing. I was doing acoustic covers, and he was doing
heavy.
changing songs into heavy covers. We started the podcast. We did a Thanksgiving Eve show where we got all our friends to in other bands to record themselves doing an entire set, and then we did.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
did
about.
a live
Stuff
stream
like
on
that.
Thanksgiving, and
but like even we when we started the podcast, we had the podcast, and like Silverstein was one of the first bands that took up
and I
to
was like what
they were took
Right.
they took to
Shane's
like
all,
they were like, they're like, cool, we're gonna do at home silver stream, and it was like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
And they put this video out, and I was like, fuck, this is awesome. And we had Josh on, and the first time, and he's like, yeah, I'd love to like take credit for it, but honestly, like, yeah, Paul is like on top of things, staying up on top of things, and we need to do these live streams now because that's where we've got our little bubble, and that's what we're doing. And they were like the first to do.
Silverstein was one of the first innovative, I should say, that actually got it going. Like Shane is obviously like massive, like, but yeah, I mean, it's I understand, like, obviously it's a fucking once in a lifetime. Unfortunately, during our lifetime experience, that everything happened. So I'm not shit talking, but it was just very interesting to see like who's going to try to do what during.
Do you
how important it is?
Do you
to you to continue to be in touch with?
But also,
support you.
Yeah,
you know,
and people have different priorities. Obviously, like I said, you have families, or like maybe someone got sick next to, like you never know. So like I'm not shit talking, but some bands, some actually like really elevated during it, and others like a lot of bands broke up, unfortunately. And I understand that too, because financially you couldn't survive. It's all
so do you do your own booking, or do you have somebody do it for you? And how much of like during the pandemic era, let's just say in the big quotes, pandemic era of things,
the PA.
What was that act, that interview you got that you were just like, fuck, how did I get this? And then like now thinking back, you're like, they weren't doing anything. Like it was
Yeah, it was interesting. I do my own booking. I do a lot. I kind of like the last like 6 months or so. I kind of have. I do have like somebody that like will help produce and stuff, like maybe help with social, or like I do so much. And I'm a horrible like video editor and stuff. So like I have somebody that will help with video editing, and I'll pay them to like. I'm just like I have so many interviews and stuff that just like, please just grab this clip so I can use it for socials, or like I just doing all sorts of different stuff. So I do have more of a team now, but booking, producing, audio editing, interviewing, research, all that's like I just do that myself. It was interesting because some people, even like some of my friends and stuff, I'd be like, yo, just come on and shoot the shit. And like, it's weird because the way that when you do interviews, all right, a lot of times it's like, all right, well, they'll hire like a publicist and stuff, and the publicist will go through like, their thing, and they're like, or like, I'll reach out to publicists, be like, oh, let's have so-and-so on the show. And they're like, oh, well, we're not really promoting anything. Can you wait like 4 months? And I'll be like, I'm in their fantasy football league. Like, sorry for going through the correct channels. I'm going to have them on because I'm just going to directly text them. But like, it's like, I don't think a lot of times, this is huge for anybody that's listening and stuff like that. Make sure have good people that rep you, because there's things that go on. Like, even for the bigger bands, I know for a fact that sometimes requests never get to them whatsoever. And like a lot of
I know for a fact.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And they're like, dude, I didn't fucking know. Yeah, come on. And then I'll have them on, and then like I'll get an email from publicists like, oh, I saw that you had them on. It's like, yeah, you motherfucker. I told you in the email I've known them for 9 years. Like, I'm not like bullshitting you here. So, but like the fact that they don't know, like, it's me, but like maybe it's a different publication. Like, you never want it to be like, oh yeah, they're fucking assholes or something like that. Like, because they didn't do your press or anything like that. Like, to me, like, I don't truly care either way. Like, whatever. It's like, all right, you're not coming on. Like, whatever, dude. It's all good. But like, that's my reaction. Other people do shit talk a lot, especially with social media. It's like, oh, they're assholes. Like, well, maybe they're not assholes, but the requests a lot of times don't even get to them. So it was interesting. So a couple times, the thing I do with the Gun Show is obviously we promote tours, music, new songs, do song exclusive premieres, all that stuff. But also, like, I want the Gun Show, and it's been this way for many people. It's just be like a hangout session. Be like, yo, dude, I saw your tweet. Like, come on for like 10 minutes and stuff like that. Like, we don't have to promote anything. Just be a homie. Like, just call and let's have fun. You know what I mean? Like, just do that. It doesn't always have to be promotion. But pandemics, like, I did have some of my friends, stuff that would just come on that are in bands, or just like, oh, let's shoot the shit. Like, let's have fun, dude. Like, you're just staying home. There's nothing to do anyway. But 2 artists that I know, but it was very cool for them to still say yes, especially because it was just like, kind of like whatever, was 21 Pilots and also Pete Wentz.
Nice.
And they didn't really have to promote anything in between, but they just came on. And it was so awesome because like they didn't have to come on. But on the flip side, it was so much fun that they did because they didn't really do too much at all, any press at all. But I've known them for forever, and like, and they were just like, yeah, like let's have some fun, yeah. And that was kind of cool. Like those are probably my two favorite, because 21 Pilots is obviously absolutely massive, and we had a great time talking to them. And then Pete Wentz, obviously it's Pete Wentz and stuff. Like it was great, yeah. So like those were kind of my two favorites, where I was just like, you're not even promoting anything and you came on. That's kind of rad, because it's not like I'm texting Pete Wentz, like be like, hey dude, like as if it's like one of my buddies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I love Pete, but like I'm not ever gonna bother him with a text message to be like, come on my show, you know? But it was interesting. So those two came on like kind of like 2020ish. So when like there was no industry, there was no tour, nobody knew what the fuck was going on. There was, you know, so those are definitely the two. But like but it was fun. Like, so that was rad. But then also, like on the flip side, one of my favorite interviews I did was also Charlotte Sands, who's crushing it right now.
Fucking
interviews was on one show. I had her on like 3 times during the pandemic. She had never even played like a live show or done anything like that. Now she's fucking crushing it right now, like the alt nation and alt rock and all that stuff with Take It Back Sunday in the main. Like Charlotte Sands is incredible, and that all happened in the pandemic because she was just home. I was like, oh, come on the show, let's go. So it's kind of rad. Like
I love that. I love that. Like
we've said it to her a number of times, but now she's doing songs with like fucking Sleeping with Sirens. So
right.
you know.
No, she's awesome. Like, she's awesome. Yeah, she's
great. No, she's great.
I love that about the show. Like that's one thing I like about your show, and that's one thing that like we continuously try to do with our shows, where even when we do talk to people, we're like, you're gonna get your chance to promote. We promise. But other than that, we're not going to talk about all that shit.
Yeah,
like
it's more
you're
about
in a promotion schedule right now, so you got plenty of promotion that you're doing.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean? Like,
I'm the biggest hype person there is out there. I fucking ramp people up. I fucking love music. I'm unbelievable energy and stuff like that. But like, listen, if you want to promote something, come on the Gun Show, I'll promote the hell out of it. But also, like, it doesn't always have to be just promotion. So like, dude, just fucking come on, let's have some fun. Which is why the Emo Millionaire has been a lot of fun, because a lot of those my guests really have just been like chilling, and or like maybe like, oh yeah, we have a tour in 3 months. It's like, oh well, we can talk about that for like 5 minutes, but come on the show with the the Emo Millionaire. Just be, I never say I interview people. I say I have conversations with people on the Gun Show.
Fuck yeah. Same thing for us, man. We just bar style chats is what we
and just be relatable.
We just shoot the shit and
just be relatable, whether you're a talent or whether you're an interviewer or whether you're just a human out there. Just be relatable. That would probably be the best. Like,
where do you come up with the questions for Emo Millionaire?
A lot of it's history. I mean, it's.
I mean, do you come up with it, or do you get like, do you have somebody helping you out where it's like, hey, did you know this or whatever? Because like, I could be a fucking millionaire.
Multi-millionaire. Are you saying? Are you saying the questions are too easy for you?
I'm just saying, like,
I have.
Listen, I'm a little bit of a metalhead, like metalhead. I love my solid intake of butt rock as well. I guess, but
well, you have a crazy knowledge of band members and like specific things around those bands.
My wife hates me because it's like
it's ridiculous. Like
she's like do you know this person at like a family reunion? And I'm like, no. But then like we'll be out and I'm like, dude, that's fucking Spencer from Under Oath. Right. And she's like, you don't what? Like we're eating breakfast. Like what are you talking about? And it's like, no, I know that.
He'll say that to me and stuff like that.
I listen to Under Oath.
And I don't know, like, I don't know band members. I know, like, if I've talked to them or if I'm like, I'm a singer, so I know some singers, so it's like, I know that. But even other than that, like, I just don't, it doesn't stay in my brain.
I could be an emo.
I've done some damage up here.
Give me 1 minute because I got to do this. Keep talking. I got to grab this thing real quick. Hold on 1 second.
All right, grab the thing. Grab the thing.
He's going to grab a thing.
He's grabbing a thing.
He's grabbing a thing and he's laughing.
Being grabbed.
We are back in Ballin.
Yeah, here we are.
Totally pooping. It's fine.
And we're back.
I had to. It's a live interview, and I had to do take care of some stuff on a Sunday night. Let's go. All right, back to it. All right, so
Mike had to pee, so it was
Emo Millionaire. A lot of the questions I do, pretty much all the questions I come up by myself, but I will have sometimes people will be like, oh, well, what about this? Or people might like respond and be like, oh, this type of thing. But a lot of them, it's harder than people think because it's not. I have to adjust a lot because every person has a different background of their knowledge, quote unquote. So like one of my favorites I ever did was Early November. And I've known Early November for almost like 20 years now or whatnot, because they grew up in Jersey. And I knew that they knew all the history because they've always been involved, you know, like it's Early November. So I was able to ask them like, who opened up on the Blink-182 Mark, Tom, and Travis show? But like, I can't ask Hot Shell Ray that. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to like kind of adapt. I had Judah and the Lion on. Love Judah and the Lion. Amazing band. The publicist says in the management, they go, they don't know anything about emo. They're like a folk rock band. I was like, all right. So what did I do? I kind of adjusted it to be like, finish the Please Tell Me Why My Worst Enemy by Lit. What's the next lyric? You know what I mean? Or like The Killer, like that kind of thing. So you kind of have to adapt. Ultimately, though, I do want like a Mark Hoppus or like Pete Wentz. Like, I think those would be a lot of fun because like they'll know it. Yeah.
My car's in the front yard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. You got it. Yeah. You just had Lit and
I did.
Hoobastank.
Yeah.
Did you have Doug?
I had who did I have? I did not have Doug. I had the guitarist, who I can't think of right now.
I know his. I
He's
know.
the lead, yeah, he's the original member with Doug. He's the guitarist though. But I did have AJ from Lit, who's the lead singer though. So.
I will say, Lit nowadays, I've seen them fairly recently. They're fucking great live.
They're
fucking, and their new stuff. Their new stuff is
really good.
It's really good. Like
man.
I was like
if
at
you're
first
a good writer, you're a good writer. And that's a
it was funny
song.
because like at first I was kind of like cool, like Lit, great. Let's go see them. Let's go see my own worst enemy. And they played some of their like newer shit, and it was like legitimately good.
Yeah,
it was very good. So
I find that often that when a single gets as big as that, it turns people off from actually checking out the catalog of the band. But there are definitely like, because that song got so huge, the rest of the catalog didn't get an opportunity to get as big as it probably should have gotten.
Right, because every cover band in the fucking world
then once
plays
it's
My
that
Own
huge,
Worst Enemy.
if something else doesn't reach that, it's looked at as a failure.
I mean, that's the definition of a one-hit wonder. Now, luckily for them, they did have a couple singles, but that was also almost like
complete
15, 16, 17 years ago. You know what I mean?
Complete.
But they were rad. That was
Great.
which is why, like I mean, I get so many. I'm sure maybe you guys do as well, but like I get so many requests just for press because I've been doing this forever and stuff, and like I don't want to ever say yes to somebody unless like I can give them the due time. You know what I mean? Like because I don't want to waste their time. I don't want to waste my time either. Not saying waste, but you don't understand. Like, it's different. I've been in this game for a while now. You know what I mean? So like I have to like, and I'm busy as hell, which is fine. And I'm very grateful for that because it's obviously the listeners of the Gun Show throughout the years, all that stuff, and that have been supporting me. But when I got Lit in Hoobastank, when I saw the press release, I was like, absolutely. And you know what? It was such a good interview. It was supposed to be 20 minutes. We went for over an hour, and we talked about like that era and like what the alt rock stuff and like doing the MTV stuff and like the TRL stuff and like if they came out now would it be different and how like he wrote Crawling in the Dark and like all this stuff. Like to me that's like educational and like you can learn something from that and like it's kind of badass. Like I had Art, the lead singer from Everclear, on. Now does the average like
Art is great.
Yeah.
Art is awesome.
Like why would I
awesome?
Like there's
he's a great DJ too.
There's personalities and media people out there that just want like the hits, and sure, you can get the hits and the clicks and stuff. But I also want to learn. And like when I'm talking to Art from Everclear, he's got 30 years of touring experience. Like why would I not talk to him? Like you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I don't need to always do like the Machine Gun Kellys and stuff like that. Like obviously, like I'm all about that, but like I also want to learn, and I try to get that across on the Gun Show too. Like learn something, please. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
So,
hell yeah, dude.
100%.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, we've had plenty of those, like, where they turn up and they're like, yeah, we got 40 minutes, and it's like, okay, cool. Like, let's get through our fucking promo and let's get this done. Like, like even like Eric Bischoff, like he was awesome.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Like, same thing with him. Like, he brought up production, like TV production, and immediately sparked like, oh shit.
Right. Yeah.
He gets it. Okay. So let's figure that out.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think is your like big where you kind of like watch something and you go, like when you're reading the interview, what's your big thing to like get that big shot where you're just like, cool, that's what you like? All right, I'm gonna start asking you about that. What do you like aspiring broadcasters?
Right.
How do you tell them to keep an eye out for something like that?
My first rule would be listen to the interviewer, to the person that you're interviewing. A lot of times, especially up and comers, they're already set on the next question. You know, sometimes like, even when I started, I would have like a list of questions, you know, and I see it now when I do like press junkets and press stuff, like, you know, the young people come, but like they'll have like questions. So instead of, they don't listen. And the biggest thing is listen, because your follow-up could actually do it. Like they're so in tune they already know what they're going to ask next. It's like, oh, tell us about your new single. Oh, but you're going on tour. Oh, you date this person, like blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Rather than actually react. So the first thing I would say is listen to what they're saying, but also be conversational. And not everybody can do that. Like you guys are great at it. Like we're shooting the shit. We're having, you know, we've had an absolute blast, but a lot of people aren't. Like they're not conversational.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it's just about like showing yourself, but also like I do the gun show differently because I've been doing it for 15 plus years, like, you know, 15 years, 10 plus years, whatever, 12 years, whatever it is now. It's probably on the actual thing about how long I've actually been doing it. But in the beginning, like, you know, it was like, it just, I think if I just started now, I wouldn't have that experience. The reason I can be Gunz and like a success or quote unquote success, whatever it is right now, is because I've been able to go through that. A lot of people in this media, there's nobody else that is still around from when I first started. I've interviewed 62 out of the 65 bands on When We Were Young Fest. Who the fuck else has done 62 out of the 65 bands? Nobody. There's nobody else that has interviewed 62
That's
of
crazy.
65.
That's so fucking crazy.
There's nobody else. There's nobody fucking else that's still doing it.
That's fucking awesome.
I'm still doing a show multiple times a week. Nobody else. So it wasn't just like, oh, I'm just going to do this for clicks or whatnot. I was like, no, I fucking live this. I'm passionate. Like, and that's why I can get the exclusive. And that's why people know me, because I'm, you know, I'm not an asshole to people, and like, just be cool and be chill. And also like, it proves that it's just not like, when you go to like the FM stations or like, you know, it's like the artists know when they do press days, like, you know, they're rolling their eyes sometimes, like, oh fuck, we got to do this, and they give the same thing. So you just want to ask kind of different questions, but you also want to be like kind of chill, like, you know, it comes with just experience, I guess that's the one thing. But yeah, 62 out of 65 bands, nobody else. That's nobody
fucking
else.
awesome.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
So insane.
I always find that questions are more of a okay, I have this question here in case our conversation starts to have a lull.
You're right.
And
Which
then
we
I'll-
haven't gotten to
then
any of
I'll
those
look at the
so far.
questions, but I never go into it being like, we're going to ask these questions. It's always kind of like, all right, let's see where it goes. And if we have no connection, I have questions to fall back on.
And that's a good job of an interviewer, because that's show prep. That's doing what you need to do. So you can have questions prep, but that's about show prep. That shows that you care, right? Like, I mean, sometimes I do interviews, I'll just wing it, but like I'm familiar with the band and I've known the band. So
Right.
like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, do you know how many times I've interviewed people where it's just like, I'm trying to think like somebody specific where they're just giving like 1 or 5 word answers. I'm just like,
Oh man.
I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you're a
killing
fucking
me.
asshole. I've hung up on people.
Right.
I've hung up on them. I'd be like, you're fucking terrible. I'm out. 'Cause I don't give a
Right.
fuck.
Oh, we've done our episodes with those people.
Just keep it drive it. Yeah.
Yeah. We just keep it going.
We just keep going.
It's
But this
fine.
is actually a really good segue.
Yeah.
because we're talking about people that have
When you have a hard
with
time
conversations.
having conversations and stuff, we do. I don't know about you, but we got to pay some bills.
Okay.
And one of those bills is paid by a little company called Poddex. And what Poddex does is they're a company who makes decks of cards. Within each deck, there are 50 cards. Within each card is a question.
Oh, God.
And what those questions do is it's helpful for people.
What questions do?
It's like icebreakers.
Yes.
People, for people who don't have verbal diarrhea like we do.
Indeed.
That kind of thing. And what we like to have our guests do is pick a deck.
Yep.
And then we'll pick a random question from
Random deck,
that
random
deck.
question.
Okay. So
So
what are the
we've
options then? Okay.
We've got the interview deck. We've got interview deck 2. We've got Would You Rather, the episode deck, What the Heck, What the Fuck, and How Dare You? And if you say that, if you say that deck, you have to say it that way.
Right.
Like Mr. Big Head from Rocco's Modern.
My favorite, my lucky number is 3. So whatever the third one is that you said, let's go with that.
That was Would You Rather.
Would you rather?
Oh Jesus, let's not do. God, oh no.
Well, so here's the thing. Don't
I feel like I'm like a drink.
Don't fret.
Don't be too afraid, because the one thing about pod decks is these questions there's a wide range.
And
Okay,
even
good.
in the what,
Hey, these
even
are
in the what
these
the
are
fuck deck.
PG, and then these are R.
Gotcha.
right?
I was like, oh my
So
god, the would you rather?
It
Yeah.
could be tame as hell, or it could be like, what did you just say? Like
Gotcha.
either of those
Alright.
things could happen.
So
So,
is that a good one? Did I do, or what one would you guys want me to choose? Is that a good one or
dude, I like the randoms. I like the randoms.
No, we
man.
do the
I
randoms.
I'm into it. I'm into it.
okay?
So,
We're talking
and I-
about-
I like picking it by number too. I like that also.
Yeah.
I'm into it. So while Mike's shuffling, though, I will tell everybody that is listening within the sound of my voice to go to poddex.com. Check it out. There's all these decks are on there, plus more. They have an app, so you can just jump on that. I have brought these to work bartending and handed them to people that look like they were struggling a little bit with conversation. If you are a person that struggles with conversation, it can help you out. If you're starting a podcast, it can also help you out. They also have some cool swag. They have T-shirts that are soft on the nipples. They're not those hard, crunchy, gross-ass shirts
Super important.
that you buy out in front
Drax
of
approved.
the stadium of a show instead of in
I
the show.
understand. Yeah,
those-
I completely. Yeah.
Everybody
you put them in
knows
the wash
those
one
shirts.
time. You're just like, oh well, that's
And then they're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Yep.
are there knives on the outside of my shirt?
Right. Exactly.
But,
Oh, I washed it, and now there's no armpits left in the shirt whatsoever.
awesome. Well,
So-
shout out to them. That's awesome.
Absolutely. So poddex.com, use the promo code BACON.
Because
for your
everything is better with bacon, isn't it, Guns?
Big fan of bacon. Yeah, I did brunch earlier today, and I had
Mimosas.
bottomless. Yes,
Whoop, whoop.
that was awesome. That was very awesome. And then I had
Bottomless is always better than topless.
a bacon burger with a fried egg on it, and then I
Nice.
also had a side of bacon about 30 minutes later. So I'm
Solid.
like, it was like sometimes side of bacon might be like 4 pieces. There was like 9. It was awesome.
Oh,
I fucking
that's
love
a
bacon.
solid choice.
Love bacon.
Wow. So you did a bacon burger.
Yeah.
And then a side of bacon. Can we have, like, in your will, can you just put your time slot for us?
We'll put you on Adobe Radio.
I-
9. Let's
I just
go.
want to go to brunch with you and have mimosas and a side of bacon.
Well, I'd do that too. But you can leave that us.
It's a good
to us in
time.
your will.
We actually had to go inside because we were outside because it was awesome in New York, but it was very hot. So like we were
It was
outside, but there
super
were
hot,
bees.
yeah.
I haven't seen a bee in years.
Bees have
I
been
mean, the bees have been
insane.
everywhere, and I was like,
Yeah.
so we had to go inside.
They've been insane
yeah.
this year. It's fucking awful.
They're stinging my face off.
They were at the party we had a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
and then yesterday I was at a barbecue. Awful, but
They come very close to my face. I try and stay very zen.
I take the hat and whap.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
Done.
And then they're pissed.
No, they're dead.
No, they're not dead.
They're dead. They're
No.
fucking dead. I'm telling
You
you.
missed
in
them,
the
though. You're
air.
done.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Right.
do this. Give me the cards. Let's go.
Yeah. Hitting the
I've been
pod
talking
next.
for
Don't
over
forget-
an hour right now. I gotta win some money. Let's go.
You got it. You got it. You can save some money using the code BACON at poddex.com for 10% off. I'm going to move the finger of power from my left to my right, your right to your left. You tell me when to stop, and that is your question.
Stop.
Stopping right here. All right.
Oh God. Oh God.
Oh, see, this isn't so bad. This isn't so bad. You got a PG one. All right, Gunz, would you rather be in shape, having a great body, but just a busted face, or gorgeous face, but overweight?
Oh, you gotta be number 2. I
Yeah.
think. Wait, hold on. Let me think about it. No, you gotta be number 2. Yeah, always number 2. Just because someone's got a great body is like, well, that's great, but like I still have to look at somebody, or also like, or they have to look
Right,
at me.
right.
Yeah, number 2. Gotta go with that, right?
Well, I feel like
That's
like
how I live
men,
my life. A little overweight.
with
Man, I'm a looker.
men we can kind of like hold it down if we're just like a little bit chunky.
But I mean, yeah. Remember the the dad bod craze or whatever the fuck. Like the bottom line is like if you're number 2, you got to go with 2, right?
You know what? Be funny.
Yeah, right. Be funny.
Have a great
Work on your
personality.
personality. Work on your personality.
Engaging for sure.
All right, so that was a good one. So I got that.
Yeah, so that was good.
I like that. I like that.
Nice
So a couple weeks ago, we did talk about how awesome Pink is live. So we do need to ask you what you thought of Pink live.
You assholes. I completely
No. We're fucking serious about it.
I'm a fan of Pink. I'm all
I like Pink.
I'm all in.
I like Pink. I'm in.
It was either my first concert, maybe second. But I think it was the first. It was Pink opening up for NSYNC tour, and Pink had the pink hair at the time. I think she might have like one song.
That was the "There You Go." Look at that was that era.
Yeah.
Sometimes it bees
Bless
like
you.
that.
Whew.
Bless you.
Thank
Super unprofessional for
so bad, right? It was that era, yeah. And she had like a bodyguard like running on. There we go. And there's sirens outside because I live in New York City.
Sirens outside.
And it never ends. There's sirens all the time. Anyway, Pink was, so she had that first song. She opened. She's probably like a 20-minute set. Nobody knew what the hell is this person, like running around, like doing her thing. And but it was awesome. No strings attached to her. And Sync, they came down like as the mannequins from before.
It's gonna be May.
It's got it, boom. And they came down, like you could see them getting like all harnessed up, and then they came down like the puppets. So it was awesome. Listen, bottom line, are you team NSYNC or Backstreet Boys? I think I'm
NSYNC for days.
NSYNC
for days.
all day.
If you go to strangerhoodtv.com, you could see my Will It Sound Good Heavy cover of Bye Bye Bye.
Indeed.
Bye.
Indeed. Okay, one last question.
Yes,
and then we'll let you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Sometimes it bees like that.
What is your professional wrestling Mount Rushmore?
How many? 4? The Mount Rushmore's 4 or 5 up there.
Did they add a head?
They might have. It's 4, right? Have you ever been to Mount Rushmore? Also, what the hell's Mount Rushmore? Like,
there's presidents.
Mount Rushmore.
No, I'm aware of that, but like, imagine me like if that was happening today with social media, everything. Yeah, we're just gonna carve faces into a mountain.
Yeah, you know this beautiful landscape and mountain.
We're just gonna carve them in. People would be losing their minds.
Oh yeah,
that we don't own.
We don't know.
And I assume people visit Mount Rushmore. It's like, what do you do when you're just staring at a mountain?
Don't worry, this won't be cursed by the Native Americans.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, do they hate that? Oh, they're probably pretty upset.
Fuck yeah.
Who live there?
Fuck
yeah. It's like I don't know shit about it. Okay, Mount Rushmore. Bret the Hitman Hart is my all-time favorite, number 1, no doubt.
Right.
Bret the Hitman Hart is the greatest wrestler.
He's the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Technical.
What?
Technical. I know those words get kind of weird with him.
The what?
Technical.
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
Technical. Quinoa.
Quesadilla. White Zinfandel.
Salmon. Why is there an L in that? Oh, you know what I've been doing lately? For the listener out there, so sometimes, especially broadcasting, on air and stuff during the pandemic, rather than being in an office, I've been overthinking sometimes my report. So sometimes I'll be like, I do like entertainment report. I'll be like, Taylor Swift says, and sometimes like Taylor Swift says, or Taylor Swift says. So I'm doing like takes because I'm just by myself in an apartment in New York.
Right.
But the big thing is February. I'm now saying the second R. I never said
February. You're saying the R?
I'm doing the R. And people like the producers would text me like, dude, but it's not technically wrong, but it's February. For some reason I'm doing February now, which is crazy.
Because you're
also,
reading
but why is the R there? Why is the R there? It's February.
I don't know.
Why is there a B in comb but not home?
Listen,
and what the fuck is sum?
What's the what? Oh, sum. The two sums. How about this?
HOME home. COME. No.
I've spent
COMB.
I've spent years trying to learn like Spanish and other languages. I'm absolutely terrible. I got a D just so I could pass in college. I literally had to go to the professor. I was like, clearly I'm not going to become a Spanish whatever. Like, please just pass me. And he was like, all right. So I got a D. English is so hard for people that are like, oh, why doesn't this person talk in
Dude,
English?
it's crazy.
And
Yeah.
here's the example that I give. It's fun that you brought that up. They're all spelled the same, and it's 3 different pronunciations. Comb, bomb, and tomb.
Yep.
OMB.
What the fuck is that?
How do you, like, there's no logical reason. Like, you can't explain that. You just know. Like, if I'm looking like a Spanish word, like, I know how to, like, break it down. Like, like I know the word, like, pronunciation. Comb, bomb, and tomb are all the same, and they don't have it.
Right.
I'll never make fun of nobody if they don't know the English language, because it's fucking hard.
That's why I bring up home, some, and then comb, because it's like home and some are spelled the same, right? But then comb, it's like, what the fuck is that? Why
But
is there
then
a
you
B
also
there?
you also have some with SUM instead of SOME.
Right. Yeah, and they mean 2 different things. And why are there 3 theirs?
Bret the Hitman Hart,
And where's
Yes.
Stone Cold Steve Austin,
All right.
Mount Rushmore. Obviously, like, I mean, pivotal. It's got to be. Like, I'm not going to go back to like the Von Erichs and that kind of era, but like, I guess Hogan's got to be up there, right?
I mean, if you like racists, whatever.
Oh, well, I don't, but like, I'm trying to be like actually.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. But seriously, if you want to race this up there, go ahead.
It's Mount Rushmore. It's inherently racist. So.
Right.
That is true. Bunzo's, yeah. Let me just talk this out, okay?
Yeah.
I think if we're just being objectively like real with the people that have like changed the game.
Well, or
Right
go with yours, man. Go with yours if you want to go with yours.
But no, but I'm being real though. Like the 4 greatest.
No, for you. That's I don't give a fuck about what anyone else thinks.
Oh,
I
my
want you.
favorite 4 wrestlers are Bret the Hitman Hart.
What's your top?
Bret the Hitman Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ultimate Warrior. Because I love seeing him just
Also a racist.
Is
Go
he?
on.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Is he? I didn't know.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, then I guess I don't want him on. And then
We gotta pee on everybody's cornflakes, man.
yeah, why do you hate
My
everything?
bad. I don't hate
Mike's
him.
the hater.
I
on
don't
the
like
show.
Ric Flair. A lot of people put Ric Flair up there. I was never a Ric Flair fan. I don't really like The Rock too much either.
Mhm.
Who would be my 4th?
If I had to pick between Rock and Stone Cold, I would pick Stone Cold.
Yes, always. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bret the Hitman
Even
Hart,
though he like
Stone
walked
Cold
out.
Steve Austin, Ultimate Warrior I loved, and then
I mean, Bret and Stone Cold, one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time.
Oh fuck yeah!
who else?
Who's that last coveted spot?
I'm trying to think of somebody like modern, but like I hate Roman Reigns. Punk is cool. Maybe Punk is out there, but like,
Yeah, I get it.
I can't do Bret and Shawn. Oh, this is a tough one. Who's my 4th?
See, I
Shawn
can easily
Shawn
put Shawn
Michaels.
Michaels.
Actually, the Rockers. We're doing the Rockers.
Both Marty Jannetty's on your really.
Wait, Marty
I
Jannetty too?
can't because he's also a fucking terrible person. But I did love their theme song a lot when I was growing up. So I can't do that.
It was like a faster version of the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. And I was
Fantastic.
Hold on, let me actually think this out. 4th, Cena, John Cena. Ball.
Good one too. Yeah,
Wow,
That's my 4th.
John Cena.
he's a good one, man.
I guess
Dude,
so.
on
Yeah,
top, longer than anyone.
Yeah, I guess so.
Literally.
All right, I'll allow it.
What are your 4?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, Judgy Judgerstein. What's your
You don't want to. You don't want to know.
What's your
No.
fourth?
So it's definitely Shawn Michaels.
What's your 4? Like
Bret Hart.
Tanahashi, Kenny Omega. I'm not
No,
gonna say any
relax,
WWE guys
guy.
because I'm cool.
Relax, guy. No, it is Shawn Michaels. It is
Right.
Bret Hart. Those two got me into wrestling, like hardcore.
Yeah, man.
Okada got me into like real wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like collegiate.
Not
Woo!
Oh,
you mean
and
still
also
pro wrestling?
Yeah,
All right,
still
I got you.
professional wrestling. And
Who's
I
your
don't know,
fourth?
man? Like
Maybe Punk. You're wearing a
yeah,
shirt.
I'm gonna have to say
Yeah.
Punk. I
Yeah.
have. Listen, man, I got a lot. Oh, Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston.
He was your guy for a long time, man.
It's a nice person.
Boom
but not a
squad.
good person.
Boom Squad,
Boom
baby.
Squad.
No, CM Punk. CM Punk.
I also have Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels on mine. 100%.
You gotta have both of them.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
That's a good one.
I love old like Steamboat matches, man.
You watched a lot of
Um,
live Steamboat.
I
you don't know
also
about that.
You know how I know you're old? You saw Ricky the
Right.
You know, I know Euro.
AJ Styles. I love AJ Styles.
Yeah, he's bad. Yeah.
He's good. He's good.
Love AJ.
You know what?
Styles.
I think a lot of us take him for granted because he's not retired.
Yeah. I will say this, and we can end on this because I have to go run and win some money, hopefully, on NASCAR betting. But wrestling needs to stop, especially WWE, with all the cuts. Some people are like there was like
Destroys my brain,
39
man.
cuts in less than 30 seconds. It's like you.
Right.
If you're gonna do it, make it for the big moments. Don't do it for a fucking random ass NXT event. And there's still
fast zoom ins. Don't make me feel like crazy things are happening.
Zoom ins and cuts, I can get over. Get rid of the fucking CGI entrances.
That's
enough already.
I don't know. I think
don't give me I don't know, guy.
Some of them are okay.
Come on.
Some of them are okay.
Bells and whistles.
Really? Yeah.
Here, bells
I like
and
Oscars. I like the
bells
masks.
and when you do bells and whistles and too many cuts, as he's walking away right now, when you do bells and whistles and too many things, you're hyping up and it gets oversaturated. And then when it actually really matters, people don't care as much. Also, it's
100%.
terrible for people that I get a headache out of it now. Like, relax.
Yeah.
Like, somebody's ball. Anyway, fucking love you guys. Let's go. It's the Gun Show. Who wants to be an emo millionaire? Follow me. Check it all out. The Gun Show, Guns with a Z. Follow Emo Millionaire, the Gun Show, Gunz. If you don't know now, you do know the Gun Show. Who was your favorite interview from So What that you guys did? Not me. I'm not saying, but like band wise, who was cool for you guys?
I like Forever King Calling.
I like Scary Kids Scaring Kids.
Scary Kids
hell yeah.
was fucking hilarious.
Because I just laughed my
that was
ass off.
fucking
to that whole thing.
hilarious for
Yeah.
sure.
And we didn't think we were gonna get them.
Yeah,
because they got us because I guess they saw other people being interviewed by us having fun, and they were like, "Okay, we'll do theirs."
Yeah,
that's
So-
what it's all
that
about.
was Emery. That was Emery.
But you know what? It goes about
also-
to something that we said over an hour ago. Being there is all be there.
Yeah.
Because if you weren't there, you wouldn't have had that if they didn't see you there. So that's why you always have to say yes and do the damn thing.
Yeah. One thing I will ask you is, do you remember? I mean, we said there was going to be a test at So What back in what was it, May?
Yeah.
What is the most important question that you can ask yourself every single day? What makes your life better? What makes everything just a little bit
What's your
better?
It's our
Did I ask
tagline.
myself?
It's our tagline.
We gave you stickers that said it. So I mean,
What's
or you might have thrown them out.
your-
That's fine. It's okay.
I do. I remember you gave me the Manscaped stuff, and I used that because I was terrible that weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, you smell.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I did use that. Oh fuck.
Excellent.
Oh, the most important thing that I can ask myself is, what's your bacon?
Oh!
Bacon.
Wow! There are people who don't even remember.
Ballin'.
Like an hour later. This is months later.
Months later.
Ballin', baby.
See? I'm loyal, baby. Let's go. Fuck yeah. Let's go. Yo, congrats on everything for real though. You guys are amazing. So much fun. Conversation awesome. Like I said before, the fact that you guys are hardworking like motherfuckers, which is great. And to hear even the backstory that I didn't really know about like the pandemic and bands and all that stuff and like having to adapt, that's what separates people. And that's awesome. You guys are friends now. You know, we were texting, all that stuff. Like that's cool. So you guys are awesome. For the listeners out there, definitely support them. And yeah, fuck yeah, this is fun. We have to come on and do like a wrestling one. So let's talk like maybe like before let's do it before like a Survivor Series or something that's upcoming, like a real like.
Dude, let's do a watch along.
Let's do a watch along.
Let's do a fucking watch
Ballin'.
along. Hell yeah.
Rock and roll, love you. Check them out. Ballin'. Oh, thanks guys.
Have a good
Thanks,
one,
guys.
And we're back.
He's got to do that, and we're back. Can I have the strawberry popcorn, please?
Oh yeah.
That was a fun interview. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's. I mean, he's a talker. We're talkers. We covered so many things. It was a lot of fun. You guys heard it. He's just a cool dude, man. I love conversations that go that way. Let us know if you like those kind of conversations. You know, like we could do structured interviews, and every now and then we try and do it. But like, I love conversations.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, did we miss anything? Did we not ask him something that you would have liked us to ask him? Hit us up. Let us know. We're talking about getting him back on for something else, doing a watch along of a wrestling show or some kind of thing. More like, hey, this episode is all about pro wrestling because we're all fans. So let us know. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know what you guys want us to do. Before
Indeed.
they do that, though, or while they do that, use
Well-
the hashtag What's Your Bacon.
Yeah.
Use the hashtag Bacon is my pod or Bacon
Yep.
is my podcast.
Yeah.
And you could even like hit us up individually. Where can they hit you up individually?
Individually, you can hit me up at me my own self, Mike. You can find all things about this lovely podcast we've got going here. You can also, I got my family. Like I talk about Jen all the time, and I talk about my kids all the time, and they're great.
You can see what they look like on his thing.
See what they look like. Also, I have a band. It's called Something Heavy, and you can catch it at Something Heavy Band and Something Heavy on all digital streaming platforms. We got a new single out called Learning.
Nice.
And super excited about it. Yeah. Jimsy, what about you?
You can find me at Jimmy G Shoes on all the socials. Yeah, you can hit me up there. You can pop into my DMs. Let me know what kind of stuff you want to see or you want to hear, you want to talk about. My band Craving Strange is at cravingstrange.net, and from there you can find all of our socials and everything that we're doing. We have a new single as well. Call Me What You Say. Check that out on Spotify.
Also,
or any of the other
real
things.
real quick, we got a show happening this coming week.
Oh yeah, we do. We do. If you're in the New York or Long Island area, we are hosting our friends in Stud Count.
Indeed.
Mhm.
We're also hosting Craving Strange.
Yes, Craving Strange.
And
We'll be there. Something Heavy.
Something Heavy will
We'll be
be
there.
there. Also, a band called Utmost
Nice.
from New York City. So,
We'll be
Mr.
in
Beery's in
Bethpage.
Bethpage, New York.
Cool venue. Great beer selection.
Wonderful beer selection.
Fun bartenders. Cool vibe. Love that place.
I've
Very
broken a
punk
lot
rock.
of I've broken a lot of glasses from jumping on the bar there,
Yeah.
and they don't get mad at me.
You've set it up now to where you have to jump on the bar.
I don't know if I can. I might be playing guitar. So,
You just did it though. You just made it.
all right. Well, as long as you're playing guitar for the song.
All right. If you're playing guitar, tell me what one song you want me to play guitar on.
Okay.
And then we'll do that.
All right. Fine.
All right.
The one song that I play, that he plays guitar for on that set.
He'll hold your drinks because he'll knock it over.
I won't hold your drinks. I will knock them over.
Yeah, I told you guys to hold your drinks because he'll knock them over.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can find Bacon is My Podcast
Indeed.
at baconismypodcast.com. If you are just listening on any of the many streaming sites that we are on, thank you so much for listening. If you want to visually check out a little Bacon Pod, you can find us over on our YouTube channel, which is Strangerhood TV. You can go there just by hitting strangerhoodtv.com. You don't even have to search for it or anything like that.
Nope.
We are over there, and there's also music from both of our bands, both of us individually doing some cool cover stuff. All kinds of fun stuff on the channel that
Yes.
you can check out. Our band, Bacon is My Passion, has some music on all the streaming services as well, so please check that out. And again, baconismypodcast.com. Check out our merch, check out our swag. You can help us out. You can help the show out. If you really want to help the show out, check out our Patreon. Thank you to our patrons for being a part of this.
Thank
and
you.
making this thing work. Hope that you guys are enjoying all the ad-free episodes, extra episodes, tasting episodes where we eat
Some
all
of
this
the torture
terrible
that we do
stuff,
to ourselves.
the cooking episodes, all the random stuff that we like to put on there. Join if you want to check it out. It's not much. There's a bunch of tiers. All the tiers are incredibly helpful to us, and they help keep the show going.
Indeed.
Thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your day. But while you're out there, remember to ask yourself the most
Out in the
important
wild.
question.
Super important,
Yeah.
especially while you're on the wild. What's your what?
What's your bacon? Oh, peace.